During prayer, I found myself above the earth. There was darkness covering the earth. I was wondering, where am I? I said, Lord, is that you? I heard the Lord responding, yes, it's me. Hold my hand. I grabbed the Lord's hand, for I knew that he wanted to show me something. I did not see his face, but his glory was powerful with authority. He was like a silhouette. Jesus is God and he is unsearchable. We can't understanding him. When I held his hand, we began to rise up higher in the space. After rising for some time, we got to a place in space, and the Lord said, Daughter, we have arrived in the second heaven. I have brought you here to show you things, so be attentive, brethren. I saw that the second heaven is also a world like the earth. When I look in the horizon, I saw billions and myriads of souls of men, that were inside cages, similar to pigeon cages. Countless people were bound in chain inside cages like pigeon. In this world, in the second heaven, I saw giants, demons. When I say giant demon, I mean they were really giant. And they were numerous. It seems that this was their kingdom, and human looked like mouse beside these giants. They were myriads and myriads of souls bound and chained and captured inside cages. The Lord said, Daughter, you see all these souls inside cages. They are my children. They are my sheep. They are bound in chains here in the second heaven. That's why I am raising men and women to stand in my presence and intercede for my people. You must stand in my presence for lost souls, and you must exercise authority in the spirit world to break their chains and cages, so that I can come down to free my children. The Lord was in sadness when he was speaking to me about all these people trapped in cages. In the second heaven, I saw many firm, corporation and companies that make video games, and I saw all kind of creatures, monsters and beasts that we see in videos games there in the second heaven. Some of these creatures can be seen not only in videos games but also in Hollywood movies of horror and superheroes. These were strange creatures that don't exist on Earth. We always wonder who drew and designed these monsters and creatures of videos games. In reality, these videos games characters are not a result of men's imagination, for I saw these videos games monsters and characters in the second heaven. They were ferocious and wicked. The monsters and beasts in video game were not just imagined by these companies. The Lord told me, games design and content come from the second heaven, a dimension of giants, demon, incredible monsters and demons. When the Bible say we are fighting against wicked spirit in heavenly places, these wicked spirit are giant and full of fury. We must spend time before God's presence to intercede. The Lord was insisting and said, Go tell my children to stand on the gap and intercede, because half of the world population is incarcerated in cages of the second heaven. Half of the world are bound in chains inside cages, and they seems like grasshopper beside these giants, demon of the second heaven. These giants were laughing and mocking humanity in these cages. These creatures are ugly, grotesque and wicked and find pleasure in tormenting human. At the same time, I saw slaves that were working in these companies and firms of the second heaven. They were drawing and designing monsters and beasts of the second that are supposed to appear in videos games and movies. Brethren, whatever you see in videos game, all these dragon, reptiles and beasts are real. They are wicked spirit of the second heaven. These boss are real like you me. They are not imagination. The Lord said, to these director and video games designer that are showing dragon and reptiles and strange creatures, they know what they are doing. They have signed pact with the wicked spirit of the second heaven. They are illustrating things that are in space on screen, so that these demons can invade the earth. The Lord warned me in these terms, when people are playing videos game and watching superhero and cartoon, they think they are just playing games, watching comic book movies and animation. In reality, they are coming face to face with these creatures who are wicked spirit of the heavenly places. As a result of this exposure, people's souls are captured in the cages of the second heaven, and you become slave there even if you are living here. Those who play these games are bound by these creatures and taken to the prison of the second heaven. Just imagine all these young people and adult, even Christian, that watch these characters and play these games. The Lord say evil had invaded the earth. Tell the church to pray for these captive and slaves of the prison of space, because they are also my children. The Lord insisted that these being in video games and movies are capturing people who watch them and play game. Half of humanity is bound in chain and cages of the second heaven. When we had left the second heaven, the Lord took me to the abode of the dead. Then I saw a church pulpit inside the fire. A woman was immobilized on the pulpit as if she was preaching, and fire was consuming her. The Lord said, I am showing you this to confirm that my law and order, I have in abomination those who violate my law. The Lord reminded me of the order and tradition of Melchizedek priest, where the woman is forbidden to lead and preach in the temple. I do not permit a woman to teach or to have authority over a man. She must be silent. 1 Timothy 2 verse 12. We are living in the end time. There is confusion, and the Lord is bringing light, confirming his word. The Lord has in abomination women that stand in the church altar preaching and leading churches. It is against his order and his priesthood. The Lord has not called women to preach or lead a church. He has called women to evangelize and doing church tasks in submission. Brethren, this issue is serious. Souls of women are at stake. For as I am talking to you now about this issue, I am being attacked. It's only the Lord that is supporting me. Whatever I am saying here, the Lord will use these words on the day of judgment if you fail to listen. When you die, you don't disappear. It's either the place of rest or the abode of the dead. Whenever the Lord talked about this place, he feel pain to see many of children going there. He come out, my children, get out of mundanity. I am the Lord. I am alive and I am sitting on my throne. Listen to my servant's words, for these things are real. I am the Almighty. Listen to my voice and come out of worldliness. Get rid of foreign god in your house. I'm God. I left my throne for you and I humble myself. I took on me your burden and your sin because I love you. You have rebelled yourself and turned your back on me. Come back to me, little children. I am your creator. I am coming back soon. I am at the door. I don't want you to be lost. Listen to voice. Come to me. Don't harden your heart. I gave you my life freely. Come out of rebellion and idolatry.